The following is a presentation of the Mat Talk Podcast Network.
These guys aren't playing around. It's time to put the books away and get in the room. It's time for Wrestling Recess. Now your hosts, Dyson Gould and Dom Deputy. PA Power Wrestling. Pennsylvania is wrestling.
What's up, guys? I'm back for another episode of PA Power Wrestling Recess. Today, my guest will be two-time PIAA state champion and Pitt wrestler, Cole Matthews. What's up, Cole?
Not much. Thanks for having me, buddy.
Thanks for coming on. So I want to get into the main topic right now of COVID-19. How do you feel about your first NCAA tournament being canceled?
I think it's sad for everybody, and we all were ready to compete for it, but only control what you can control, and just get better from this and better in this time off that we have.
What are you doing to improve and everything? Like, I know all your workout sources are limited.
So I've been running on the treadmill and using the elliptical at home, and little old-fashioned stacking wood outside, I guess. So just still moving around. I mean, having a good sleep schedule and just eating right still, just like I would in the season.
So now on to your youth career. How did you get into the sport?
I was 4 years old whenever I started, but I started with both of my older brothers. They wrestled, and then I just got introduced to it by them guys, and wrestling around on the floor. You probably know what that's like, in the living room and just getting beat up. So,
did you play any other sports?
I did. I played football growing up, and I played football my senior year. But I also golfed when I was a sophomore and junior. I'm not a good golfer at all, but I did like football a lot more than golf.
I can't golf whatsoever. Every time I try to hit the ball, it goes between my legs.
It happens. That's why you take that one ball out there.
What was your favorite sport at the time?
I think my favorite sport was football until I realized that I was getting pretty good at wrestling. And it's like your favorite sport's what you win at, obviously. And now it's wrestling because that's what I trained for. That's what my whole life really revolves around now. But when I grew up, my favorite sport was football.
What did you go to any clubs growing up?
Yeah, I went to Bad Karma. That's with Mark Steen. It's up at Teal College in Greenville. And I've been family friends with him for the longest time. And, Gary goes to Reynolds, and Coach Steen would just take us around the nation, and he was a big part of me growing up and helping me.
Who were your main partners at Bad Karma?
Man, I can't even remember. I was a little guy, and I went around with Bad Karma for a while, but there was guys from everywhere. All around PA, he would get guys from Ohio coming in that were real tough, and whatever he could do to get better training partners in there for me.
How much of a role did your parents play in your career, like getting you to practice and events?
They're very supportive, just like any parents would be. They put a lot of time into me growing up and taking me to youth tournaments and all that.
Did you wrestle any freestyle or Greco?
I did. I started about probably fourth or fifth grade, started wrestling freestyle and Greco with Bad Karma in the spring and summer, and I really liked freestyle and Greco at the time because it's something new to you. Whenever you find something new, you like to do it, and I did end up winning Utah. It was kids nationals at the time. I won it in freestyle and Greco actually twice, so I did enjoy it. I mean, I'm not a Greco guy now, but freestyle is still pretty fun.
Freestyle's fun to just like scrap because you can like launch guys and.
Oh yeah, you can throw them over your own head. Can't do.
Yeah.
Freestyle.
I remember I was at a freestyle the team duels, the PA State team duels. So that's wrestling for Young Guns, and I hit a suplex on a kid, and they stopped the match because we were not allowed to do that to a motor.
Yeah, I think that's not fair to you guys. You should be able to throw someone if you're able to.
He said I back arch, and I'm like, I didn't even know I could back arch.
You were just trying to get some points.
When did you start to develop your style?
I still think I am developing my style, and I really haven't been much of a like technical wrestler growing up or anything. But as soon as I got to college, the coaches helped me focus on little things to get me better in every position. But I think I've had like a scrappy type of style my whole life, though.
You won like 1 or 2 state titles growing up, correct?
Yeah, I won one in 7th grade. Ask Justin McCoy about that.
Didn't you hit him in like a cement mixer or something?
Yeah, I did. You'll have to call him sometime.
I remember him or my dad saying about that.
Oh yeah, Justin still can't get over it.
What is something you wish you would have done differently early on as a kid?
I don't think there is much I would do differently, but I might have tried to play different sports. But I mean, more sports, just to experience it. 'Cause now it's just like I got this one sport for the rest of my life. Obviously, I love it, but I think when you're younger, you got to play everything, see what you like. I mean, have fun with it.
Now into your high school career, who was your practice partner at Reynolds?
So I had, from my freshman year to senior year, there was guys like Seth Hogue, Chase Hout, Gage Bayless, and Hunter Michaels. Yeah, all those guys. And but mostly Hunter Michaels, like we were in the same grade, and we went to high school together, being friends, and we were partners every day. And he made me better with his awkward style, and I think I made him better with more of a in-your-face kind of wrestling, you know?
What kind of relationship did you have with, like, all your teammates and coaches?
It was a great relationship. I mean, it was like any other team, you could say, but we just had more of a connection. I mean, our coaches are very personable with everybody that's on the team and their families. So it's more of like a family thing to Reynolds Wrestling, like it's always been through the decades. But yeah.
Do you guys dedicate some of your like Reynolds is a great wrestling school? Do you guys dedicate some of your success to that?
Oh yeah, that's when you're not just wrestling for yourself and you're wrestling for other people. That's when you know you got something special.
Now, can you talk a little bit more about Reynolds' success and like what they do differently than everyone else to ultimately get to the top?
I don't think they do anything differently. There's nothing special that the coaches and the team do. But whatever they are doing, they're doing it hard and with a purpose. So whenever the kids train at Reynolds, I mean, it's intentionally. It's not to just get in there and get out and see how fast you can do it. But I mean, we go in there with the mindset to get better. Then every day it makes for consistency, and that's what wins is consistency.
Did you get nervous going into big events like the state tournament?
There were some nerves, some matches. The only time I really got nervous was against Brian Courtney, my sophomore year in the semis at States. he ended up beating me that match, but I was getting booed by the crowd and stuff, so I was I was kind of losing it for the first time ever. I was getting all out of whack. But I nowadays I don't really get nervous because you know what you trained for and you know what's to come. So no, not much nerves anymore.
What was it like to win the state title as a freshman?
It was cool, but I wish I would have won my sophomore and junior year.
Speaking of that, after your freshman run, you fell short twice, but then how did that motivate you to come back in as a senior and win it?
I think it motivated me, yes, but it also was a lot of anger in there, and I was kind of sour about it for a couple months after losing to Max Mirren my junior year, but I think it was nice to end on top again, like I started, but I wish I could go back and do a couple things differently in those matches with Brian Courtney and Max Mirren, but I can't do anything now, and I learned from it, so I took everything I learned those 3 years and into my senior year and just tried to be the best leader for our team and captain and all that.
Why did you choose Pitt, and what stood out about it?
The coaches are great here. That's the first thing that you really get from any coaching staff. And when they reach out, you start knowing them personally, and you're just seeing if you like them or not. And they're all great guys. They're stand-up dudes, and they're real people. So, and it's close. I mean, it's close to home, and I have actually one of my best friends goes here, Cole Rickert, and we live together now here at Pitt. So it was pretty nice knowing someone, and it's all the guys here on the team I grew up with in PA, and they're all friends of mine. So it was a pretty easy decision for me.
Was there what do you think Pitt saw in you?
I thought they saw a hard worker, somebody that's willing to work toward a goal, Not the goal is to be an All-American and then a national champion. So they seen what the potential I have,
Now, you said about being a hard worker. Is that what you want your reputation to be known as?
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever people see in me, I guess. I can't really try to portray myself as some sort of way, but I mean, I'd rather be known as a good guy that's a good person and is willing to reach out and help people. So I'd take that over being a hard worker, because everybody's a hard worker,
What other colleges offered to you?
I got reached out by a couple other schools, like Coach Teague-Moore at American, Coach Flynn and his staff were at Edinburgh when they were recruiting me. I took a visit to Ryder. Those guys are great there. It was about just those three.
What was your first practice like at Pitt?
Wow, that's a good question. So my first practice at Pitt in the summer when I got here, I actually tore my meniscus. First practice on campus, I tore it, and I had to end up getting surgery, and it was I've never had any kind of body injuries from wrestling, so that was new to me right away. I got to know our athletic trainer pretty well right away. But yeah, I tore my meniscus first practice.
What was the main difference from high school to college?
That's a good question too. Wow. The main difference I've probably seen is everybody's good in college and everybody works hard. It's not like you're going to have a couple matches off where it's these kids aren't the best wrestlers and you can go out there and pin them. So you have to be ready and up for every match. And there's not as many in college, so you got to really put time into focusing your efforts on those certain matches, like conference ones and then the conference championships and eventually NCAAs whenever we have them.
Can you talk a little bit about Pitt's growing program?
Yeah, I can talk about that. We got a couple young guys coming in next year, and they're pretty tough. Like Petroselli, Burnett, and Cahill. Those are the three big guys in the recruiting class. But I think Coach Gavin, his staff, Coach Lean, Headley, and now with Coach Luke Pletcher, I think they're building a stable RTC program here, and we're trying to keep guys from Pitt here, and that's what's going to help towards our success is consistency, keeping guys around, and then just winning.
Can you talk a little bit about how Coach Pletcher is going to help you and Mickey, and it's going to build the guys up around that your weight and the weights around you?
Yeah. So I did wrestle Pletcher this year in the Dolmy against Ohio State, and he majored me. Yeah, he majored me. He beat me by 14 points, but just by wrestling him, I felt like this guy is beating me up, and I couldn't get away from him at that point. It seemed like I was on skates getting away, but I think he's going to teach me a lot about staying consistent to what you're getting to on your feet, and consistency on top, trying to keep a guy down. But he's a overall great wrestler, and he's going to help me a lot next year and the years following.
Now, going back to the recruiting, Coach Gavin is getting a ton of Pennsylvania guys. Can you talk a little bit about why he's so much after Pennsylvania guys over all the other states?
Everybody knows PA is the best wrestling state, so he's just trying to lock down what's obviously right in front of him. So it's a smart move on his part and the other coaches. They're trying to lock down the Whippeal. So everybody wants some guys from the Whippeal. So why not try to keep them right here in the backyard?
Now, I just have a couple random questions for you. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
I would have to say my brother, because I really didn't follow older guys in wrestling. I was just doing my own thing and doing what kids do, just being young. And I got to see how my older brother Austin worked every day and the time and commitment he put into it.
What was your favorite college growing up?
I don't know. I couldn't say I had a favorite. I mean, just because I was in Pennsylvania, it was either Pittsburgh or Penn State, just because I'm a PA guy, and you'd see them on TV or something. You're like, oh, I want to root for PA. So one of those two.
How does your mindset help you in wrestling?
I mean, like I was mentioning earlier, just trying to stay consistent with how I wrestle and how I can control myself and do what I can do to score points, just staying calm and learning to breathe a little bit better whenever I'm out there on the mat.
What advice would you give a wrestler who's just getting into the sport?
You got to have fun with it and don't cut weight right away, because whenever you start cutting weight, it's at a young age anyway. It's not fun, and you got to make it fun for younger kids. Then when you start growing up, you can start losing weight and then get to the weight you want to be, obviously. But yeah, just try to have fun with it when you can.
How would you help parents that are struggling to get their kids to love the sport?
You can't make anybody love something, but I mean, if your kid don't like it, then you don't like it, but that might be the parents' problem there. That'd be their fault if they're making it miserable for the kid. And obviously there's a lot of parents out there that can make a sport miserable for a kid because they push them too hard or just too hard on them. But yeah.
Well, cool. That's all I got for you today. I had a blast.
I had fun too. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.